Hello, my dear Scorpio. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December the 1st to December 15, 2016, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So, we'll start shuffling your cards. December 14th, we will have the last of 3 supermoons for 2016. This moon is also known as the full cold moon and the full long night's moon, and also as the moon before Jewel. Jewel being the midwinter solstice. December 13 to 14, there will also be invisible meteor showers in the sky. The Geminids meteor shower, it's considered to be the most powerful meteor shower, but will be a bit damped by the full supermoon this year. Okay, so my dear Scorpio. Oh, you have jumpers. Love, it seems. Okay, I call the divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio. So, I want my dear Scorpio to have love in their life, and I want them to find themselves having creative success and also walking on their highest path towards spiritual enlightenment and your highest destiny as well. I want you to be able to reach your highest destiny within this lifetime, so you will be able to do the things you were sent here to do. Okay, so I will just tune in a little bit. Okay, so this is your future. This is your now, and this is the past. The now is probably the time between the 1st to 15 December 2016, but whenever you watch this is probably the exact right time to see it. Okay, so the first card for you, Scorpio, is 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is when you need to separate yourself from something that you have been putting in a lot of work and effort in, like a relationship, a project, a work, something. You need to make some distance between that and yourself because you need to sort out what you want. And what is it that you want? What is it that you feel? What is it that you are kind of getting from this project? Is it fulfilling you or is it not? So we see this person has turned their way from these feelings, this place of value, like something that you have been passionate about, emotional about. You have the dolphin here trying to maybe tell you that there's still things to be done, but you are facing the stars and the moon here, and also a tsunami wave in the distance. So emotions are coming from you, but they are coming from not from this situation, but from you. So it's kind of you are trying to see yourself in this. You're trying to see who you are and what you want and what you are getting. So it's kind of a time for reevaluating what you have been doing up to now with things in your life, what you have been investing your energy and your emotions into, if it has given you the kind of outcome that you hoped it would do. Sometimes it's this leaving a relationship, for example, or a job that has kind of sucked you dry and you didn't get the thing that you hoped with this. But for most part, it's kind of taking a time of solitude to reevaluate where you have come up till now and where you want to go. And for that, you might need to be a bit alone with yourself, trying to find out this thing. Sometimes it can also be like things weren't as positive as you imagine, and now you are living in a bit of feeling of a mood of disappointment. Okay. So the next card for you is 2 of Pentacles, and we see here also that the waves here, the ocean is kind of rising up with threatening to splash over this person here, and he has a problem with his ships can't come into harbor because it's the stress with emotions. So even though it seems like you left this situation, you still have the coming tsunami wave here to kind of it's like a challenge. So It's like this. When you have had your hopes up with something, or you love someone very dearly, it's very hard to walk away, because the love or this investment that you have done, it's touching the core of your soul. So it's kind of very hard to leave, even if you, with your logic mind, is seeing that this is the only way to go, this is the only thing that's going to make me happy. It's kind of a magnetic pull. It's kind of like the tidal waves. Every now and then you will be sucked into this situation again, or the longing for this situation, or the thing that what could have been, or what you would have wanted from this situation that didn't occur. So you are trying to balance up, like, what you want from the situation and what you are actually getting, and you're trying to be like a wise person. You're trying to see the logic with it all, and you're trying to change step by step. It's almost like recovering from an addiction. It is all, it's something like that, but for some people it will run more deeply than that. It's kind of, I'm thinking about people having parents that's not really giving them what they need, and it's a kind of hard thing to just stop loving your parents. It's kind of very deep there, especially if you're young, and it can also be like relationships with the people that you love but might have an addiction, or people that you love but might not be able to live up to the standard that you need to be happy. And it's a lot of things here. It's very entangled. It's a number 8, and this is 8, so it's eternity symbol. It's something, it's a pattern, reappearing again and again and again and again, and it can be very tiresome and very like sucking you dry of energy. And it's kind of, you're stuck in this situation because emotionally you can't leave. You can leave and make the distance between you and the problem, but emotionally you're still there. You're still in this situation. You're still unable to free yourself. And maybe that's not the point either, but we'll see more what we can get for advice with this. It's in the past, so I hope you have left most of it behind you already. The next card is the Magician. So the Magician gave us some hope here, because the Magician is a person or a situation in the sky, sometimes with how the planets are situated, that's kind of giving you a lot of power to create your new future and kind of rearrange your life after your wit and will. The Magician is very powerful. He has the wand here, the willpower in his hand, and he has also all the other elements to his like he can take whatever he wants here, the chalices, the pentacles, and the sword. And it's roses here, so it's something that you're passionate about, as with this emotion. So maybe you need to look deeper. The situation up to now has been a disappointment, but it's kind of more pointing to what you really want. Because if it's a disappointment, you will know why you are disappointed, and you will know what you want instead. So try to align yourself more with what you want instead of telling this sad story for yourself, how you have been disappointed over and over again and fallen into the same pattern over and over again. It seems like with the Magician you have a real chance to like writing a new chapter in your life, and not have to do the same kind of mistakes over and over again, and fall into the same trap, and be treated like in the same way, or do the same mistakes, or not being able to take responsibility in a situation and fail, or whatever is going on in your life. But with the Magician also comes a lot of responsibility, because when you have this strong of a power, you can create havoc for yourself or beautiful things. So try to be very aligned with yourself. Whatever you feel is fine. Even if you feel like the world is falling down on you, it's fine, as long as you feel the feelings that you actually have, because you can't skip a page. You can't skip the healing part of this. So maybe the Magician here is for you to heal. and for you to let yourself loose from this pattern that he's painting here with his wand. So it's still this eternity symbol, something that has been going on forever. Well, okay, but it's a beautiful chance here with the magician. But you need to take a lot of responsibility. Sorry. Here's a two of swords. So this is you trying to solve this by blocking away your feelings, and it's okay. We see here that the feeling has been like put to rest a little bit, and the moon is still there. So you have crossed your arms across your heart chakra, and kind of has that antenna out here. So you're trying to do good. You're trying to kind of do the most logical thing, and you don't want to have this addiction anymore. You don't want to fall into the same trap anymore. So sometimes we need to put a little distance between ourselves and the things that's hurt us. And it's kind of, you have got a little bit enough maybe of this high tide emotions, and you need a little bit of a rest. So it's okay, but it's still this a little bit danger that you will only save the hurt for later. So you have kind of taken control here over your situation, and like the magician, and shut something out from your life. And that's fine. We see she has white clothes, but they almost resemblance like this white jackets that you have, that you had in like mental institutions. So beware of that. And she's also blindfolded, but you still have the antennas out. So it's kind of, you want to have contact with the divine, and you say, okay, I saved myself from this situation. So now what? What can I do to not hurt myself in the same pattern over and over again? So it's kind of a respite, a time for reevaluating and kind of rearranging your troops a little bit. And it seems like you have taken power here from this addiction, from a relationship, a certain kind of, it can be a substance, food, work, whatever. Okay, and here's the Nine of Wands. So it seems like you have been able to collect a lot of willpower and kind of draw a line in the sand. And we see here that you are backed up to a abyss here, which if the fence wasn't here, you were kind of threatened to fall down. So I think you have drawn the line in the kind of last minute. Like you couldn't back any further, so you have done your best. It seems you have been working very hard to please your feelings and try to give you the thing that you wanted, but now when you have seen that it's kind of an addiction with this feeling, you are kind of longing for something, hoping for something, and getting yourself in the same kind of trouble over and over again. And now you have drawn a line in the sand. You have kind of been backed up against a corner, and you are in many tarot cards. This person is also very reluctant to protect their heart chakra. So it's very much like you have taken a decision to not get hurt again. If this situation wants to come back and hurt you, you are going to be more awake and see what's happening, and being able to say no before the damage is done. So you are doing good, you are doing great, and it's good for you sometimes to protect your heart chakra, to protect your inner child for not being hurt again. This is actually, I see traces for you with self-love. It's very beautiful. It comes here from the magician, this decision that you have taken to not do the same thing again, even though it's going against your own nature and your own like very flowering hope, the thing that you wanted and that you are desperately longing for, but that's only seems to give you new disappointments. But there's the dawn here, and we have the moon here. So even if you have turned your back against this, I think you have like the support anyway from both this clarity of the new dawn and the subconscious of the moon. So I think you are well aware about what's going on here. behind your back. It's more like a support, I feel. It's almost like you have aligned yourself with the sun and aligned yourself with the moon, to be able to see what you are doing all the time. That's kind of putting you in the same kind of pit of despair. Okay, so it's good. Self-control is good. It's sometimes it's what's making us always miserable, but in this case it seems to be a very good thing that you have this self-control. Okay, so the next card I have here underneath the Eight of Cups, this thing that's kind of an addiction, is the shadow side. And the shadow side, of course, is the one to blame a little bit for the addictions, because here you have put all the things. When you came to Earth, you needed a lot of things. You needed love and support. You were very fragile, and you also needed like roof over your head, food and water, and a lot of care. But love was equally important. There has been many studies showing that person that doesn't get the love that they need are separating themselves in different personalities, not like schizophrenia, but like a personality that's kind of having a chance to get a little love, and a personality that doesn't have the chance of getting loved. So the personality traits that you had that didn't give you love and attention in your original family, they are the things that you have put here in the basement. They are still you, and they are still affecting you from their shadow, but they are not seen, so you can't really see them. They sneak up on you a little bit because they are in your subconscious. So they still rule you, and they still like create those waves in your life, this roller coaster, but they are not seen by you. But now when you have tried and kind of put a boundary here, you're able to see a little bit better. So this is shown by this flashlight coming in here with a person kind of shining the light in here. And it's this what I told you about self-love. To actually go down here and pick up your lost soul parts, the lost parts of your personality that weren't loved by your original family, by school, by friends, by lovers, partners, workplaces, whatever. So instead of them being here and being addicted maybe to drugs or food or bad relationships or whatever, to kind of keep them in getting their substance, you are shining your light in here, your light of love, and saying, I love you, I love myself, I love you, I love myself, I'm picking you up from here, I don't want you to be in the basement anymore, come and join me and be a part of me. And that's when the conflict stops. This is kind of the conflict. In Osho Zen Tarot, this card is actually named schizophrenia because it's kind of the situation where you are torn into different pieces because you have a longing for something and you know that this longing is not ever going to be fulfilled. So you have put this longing in the basement, like here. And this, when you go in here and put the light on this situation, is when this separation stops and you align yourself with yourself. You are not longer burdening yourself with questions. What if I try this, if I do this, no, it stops. You're just like staying in your center, in you, and trying to find out, what do I want? What do I want to create with my life? Where are my boundaries? Which are my values? What am I aiming for? And what am I going to see to that I'm getting? Okay, so often when we are like not fully loved and we are kind of separating ourselves like this, we are kind of creating the same pattern over and over again, where we are traumatized. And when you are getting those personalities up from the basement, that's when you have a chance to do things really differently and take other steps, so you won't do the same theater or drama for yourself again, where you will get traumatized once again. Okay, it stops because you are aligning yourself with yourself, and you're not going against your own will anymore to become loved, because you love yourself. So, and the next card here is a Knight of Swords. So, Knight of Swords can be persons like kind of opposing us and kind of showing us that we are not loved for the person that we are. We are under attack because we are the person that we are. And this is often how we became tested. And it's kind of the contrast that makes us see the truth. Because when a person comes like this and kind of nags upon you for the different personality traits that you have, oh, you're over emotional, or you're too distant, or you are doing this, or you are doing this, whatever, you are not filling up to your responsibilities, or so this is when those persons here starts to hurt, and then you know they are alive. So the contrast is much needed for you to wake up. So say thank you to this person coming like this and kind of not supporting you, kind of not aligning with you, kind of going against everything that you wish for, kind of traumatizing you again, because this might be the last time they are giving the chance to do this against you, because now you see what's happening, because you're awake and you love yourself. So the next card is the Fool, and this was how you were planted here on earth. This was who you were supposed to be. This beautiful, beautiful drop of spirit in a human body. It's the 0, and you have the Magician over here. The Magician was needed for you to kind of being a grown-up, taking care of your inner child, putting up some boundaries here. And here's the Fool, and it's the chance of you actually starting to get happy and kind of start loving yourself and being with yourself and being hopeful again for a different outcome, a different tomorrow. And it's a dog here, a white dog, showing your self-love and your loyalty against you. And it's also a white flower there, showing a lot of like spiritual consciousness. Like you can be unconditional with your love. You can be very naive. You can be very hopeful. You can give people second chances. But you're also loving yourself, and you see things really clearly. So it's kind of being like a Buddha figure, very much like loving towards everyone, but still having this boundaries. And it's self-respect, it's self-love, and that make you darn near untouchable. Okay, so the Fool, it's a very beautiful reading you have here of an awakening to aligning with yourself. And here you have Justice as well. It comes under the 2 of Swords. That was kind of your split personality with what you longing for and what you see that you're kind of getting. And here's Justice. So this is you making justice for yourself. You are not longer going to voice the voices of your perpetrators. You are going to voice your voice, what you want, what you long for, what you want to have in your life. So this is you parting with yourself. And this also very much needed, because Justice is a very absolute card. It's like gravity or whatever. So you won't be able to pass through here before you have learned this lesson to be you. You are not going to come out of this loop with the patterns reappearing again and again before you are aligning yourself with yourself and giving yourself justice. So it's sometimes you are the worst accusation, the worst person in your life, like making the worst kind of comments about yourself. So be very mindful of your thoughts right here and now. You had the 9 of Wands here, and here you have a major arcana card, the 9 Hermit. And that's kind of, you are stepping back again, stepping inside yourself, kind of taking this light that you had here, also with the shadow side, and kind of seeing the landscape that you have created inside of you. The bitter landscape with ice and abysses and dangers and very loneliness, also very much loneliness. So this is where your journey begins to heal yourself, and it's a lot of work that has to be done, and a lot of attention that needs to be given to yourself and all these things that you have created in your life. This separation that you have created from yourself needs to be healed. So it's going to require a lot of boring time when you are kind of alone with yourself and giving yourself attention, like being a grown-up, giving a child that's hurting a lot of attention, giving attention to those children, those soul parts of you. Also this part, that's your devil, that's your strength. That's how you kind of put up boundaries for people. And it's when the devil flews on your shoulder and kind of tell people off. But not in a way that's like evil towards them or attacking them, but actually a kind of a protection of you and this beautiful inner child of yours. So this person is needed as well. I don't want you, people can have like child molesters here and things like that, because they might have been traumatized in their early life. They can also have you can have been like a murderer in many past life, warriors. You have a warrior here. So it might not just be nice persons down here, but you are the grown-up that are supposed to speak for them and kind of be the wise person that guides them into the light, out from the darkness into the light. So if you have anger management problems, you kind of need to tell people, I'm angry with you right now. You don't need to show it so much. You need to voice it, because if an emotion comes, it needs to be expressed. If it's stuck, it's getting like this kind of blockage. So, but be very diplomatic, because those persons that's down here, if you stuck them down here in like, some war like 1,000 years ago, so they will still be a warrior, and they will have these rough edges, and you need to take them up and love them as they are, but be very diplomatic, because you're going to have use of this warrior in your life, but you are not going to have use of them if they are like losing this white flower and becoming abusive themselves. So you need to be very clear-minded here. It's needing a lot of attention and a lot of seeing of yourself. Like you can have like your inner child here needing a lot of love. Then you need to give this person a lot of love, and they can be a little bit of martyrs and kind of wanting to tell your friends that they kind of hate them for not calling you. So you might need to tell your friend like this: I was expecting your call, and I really missed you when you didn't call me. So I'm happy that we got in contact now. So you have voiced your inner child, but in a more diplomatic way that might not make big rifts in your friendship. So you need to be a little smart. The hermit is very smart. He's very having a lot of attention, seeing himself, seeing his own shadows, seeing his own behavior, seeing his own feelings. So congratulations, you are going to need to be enlightened to be able to do this. And enlightenment is attention. It is being awake. It's being like seeing the patterns instead of being the patterns. So it's not such a big fuss. And for human beings right now, we are waking up in the thousands. So don't feel you are like out in some lonesome valley, because we are many people waking up together with you. And here we have a Knight of Cups. So Scorpio, probably you here with this shadow side and this thing that you left. It seems like you want to maybe make a return Maybe you want to try to make things better. Maybe with what you have learned, with what you have seen, you now feel like a wiser person, and you want to try out your new skills. If you can create this thing that you always wanted together with maybe a special someone, or maybe you want to heal your relationship with your parents, or with your boss at work, or whatever. Because your shadow can make a lot of hazards for you as well. But it seems like, yes, that you will, you want to repair the things, I think, with your past perpetrators. And it's a risky business. I won't lie to you. But it may be what's needed for you to become healed, to go into this situation with a person that you have a lot of emotions for, but might not really take you as the most valuable person in their life, or their action might not show that you are the most valuable person in their life, because we see here in this trait, it's kind of person being rather irresponsible and kind of putting the blame on you. It's the yellow here that's a little bit for, it's solar plexus, so it's a little bit egocentric, anyway, me and I, what I want, things like this, how I depict you, my vision of you. But here you come with love into this situation. So you feel much more mature now, and you think you can handle this. So we'll see. And here's the Six of Wands, and it's coming straight from the Magician and the Fool here. So that's so beautiful, because it shows me that you will align with yourself. You won't question yourself anymore. You will say, no, this is not the way to behave, or this is not the way to do things. This is how we'll do this. So it's very good. You are not going to, you might be disappointed also in this time, but you will be there for yourself, to kind of not being in this situation with questioning yourself anymore. You will know that you did your best, and you can be proud of your own actions, even though you might not be proud of your counterparts' actions, because they might not be in the same state of awakening, and they might also be here because they want to wake you up. So it doesn't have to be a perpetrator in that kind of sense. It might be a person that's just here to wake you, like a guard post posted in a certain time in your life to wake you. So underneath the Two of Swords and the Justice card comes this Five of Pentacles. That's probably a really, really old feeling that you had from your childhood, or some time when you were feeling like you were alienated, not really taken care of. No one cared about you. They were throwing you out in the cold. And nothing is growing here, and it's the only things alive is this snowdrop. So it's kind of showing that you might experience the same situation all over again, in spite of your great efforts. This is not a failure. This is a test, I think. This is a test for you to see if you will go back to tormenting yourself, or if you will lay this not upon you, but as like a goal for you to not fall into this situation again and again. It's kind of, maybe you are going to be tested to see if you really, really mean a business this time. If you really, really are going to stick to your guns and love yourself. And the next card is Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles, you have the 8 here again. It's 8 of Cups here. You have the eternity symbol in many cards like here. And 8 of Pentacles is showing me that the work isn't over. That you will have many, many chances in the future to fall into the same kind of situation and practice on self-love. So this is probably why you're here. So don't fall into despair. You are just going to master this thing with self-love, and it's going to be hard. It's going to pick on your resources. You are going to feel like you want to give up, and you are going to go into this with your eyes wide open this time, and you will be able to see exactly where you go wrong, and exactly also you are going to be able to see the other persons or the situations all the aspects very clearly, so you will know exactly what to do and how to work on this in the future. So it's kind of an ongoing project. It will go on for a long time, even in the future. So just buckle up and practice a lot of self-love and a lot of self-support and a lot of not giving up speeches, because you are going to need it. It's not going to be an easy ride, but this is also promising that it's an Eight of Pentacles, so it's kind of you doing a really great job, and in the end you are going to get rewarded for it. And it seems like still there's hope for a situation to be healed. It's a lot of hope with this, but you are going to need to have a lot of boundaries, going into it wide awake and doing the necessary changes step by step. It's going to take time, and you're going to need patience and a lot of self-love. Okay. So I will take some card for you from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. So we'll see if we can get some more advice on this ongoing project. Yeah, okay. Yes. It's what I've already told you. You need to be wide awake like the Hawk Prince. Spirit communication, paying attention to all the little details here. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny, discernment, clear vision and details. Every little detail. I think you need to start to write a diary, like write down things that's happening, because you are going to get a lot of information and you are going to see a lot of things like in a new vision, and you are going to forget it, because human beings do. So please try to write things up. What's the things that coming to you as messages. You might have like thoughts that's kind of looping in your head. Write them down instead of letting them make you crazy with their dance. Just write them down and let them be over and done with, because often those thoughts like looping like this is kind of angel radio, wants to tell you some important thing and kind of warn you a little bit. So take the notice of the message coming to you, and be very clear with your own feelings and reaction upon people, how they react. Try to slow everything down into slow motion, and be wide awake, wide aware about everything that happens, so you know exactly when things are going south, so you can be able to take very new steps and kind of change the situation. It's a very delicate situation. This you are in for some rough weather that's kind of going to test you in being awake. So the process is going to make you love yourself, align yourself with yourself, and be wide awake. And so it's not here to torment you. It's not, even though it feels like that, it's not. And you're helped. You have a lot of help with the Hawk Prince. They are with you all the way. So you don't have to feel alone in this. Okay. For many of you, it seems to be like father issues, to have not been supported by a male person. Father is the only male person in this oracle card, so it can be any kind of male person, but also often the father is kind of setting the rules for a lot of relationship that you have later on in life. And it seems like now it's the time to heal those wounds. From fathers maybe being absent, not giving you the love that you needed, not giving you the support that you needed, not giving you the pat on the shoulder, not letting you feel your feelings to your full extent, maybe saying, well, boys don't cry, or you stop crying, or brush yourself up and be over and done with this. So it's also almost like a new also male paradigm that's kind of awakening to letting people be people, instead of kind of trying to foster new soldiers for coming wars, because this is what has been going on for many thousands of years now, and now we have a lot of soldiers, and what to do with them. Okay, so those soldiers needs to heal, and they need to be like kind of humanized again, and kind of reach their heart again, and not being in like the rules of others that's going to tell you what to do, but being a ruler of yourself. Soldiers are They are just there to follow orders, and you are not a soldier. You are here to be a beautiful spirit on earth, and not a tool for not some bigger agenda of power and authority. So free yourself from the past, the warrior, and it's kind of my duty to do this because it was put onto me like an order. Now you have the responsibility for yourself in this life, and what has been done to you from people not caring enough for you to be having this relationship that's very beautiful here. This is what wants to be healed. This is how we want to raise our new humans, our little humans, having fathers being present. Healing. It's the snake here also, and the snake you are also seeing in this card here. It's often like depicted like a snake. This one, it's for change and healing and taking responsibility. Okay. I hope this helped, and thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the middle of December. Okay, bye bye.